If you've been paying attention to the news lately, or by just being on either social media or the internet, you'd have seen or heard that everyone or all adults will be getting $1,200 because of the bear virus or COVID-19. Now, the Senate has already proposed a very detailed bill, and in it, all adult Americans would get direct payments of $1,200. Married couples, $2,400, and if you have kids, you would receive another $500 per child. But there's something that isn't put on the forefront. Now, surely you'll see headlines saying $1,200 for all Americans, but it isn't really for everyone. And those of us who do get it may not be getting the full $1,200, and that's what we're going to be looking at in this video. Now, this $1,200 or money comes without any stipulations as it pertains to spending, and you can spend it in whatever way you choose. Now, this was actually $1,000 at first, and then they decided to raise the amount to $1,200. Initially, everybody would get $1,000, but now the $1,200, even though it's more money, not everyone will qualify for it, as there are some restrictions or criteria that you have to meet to be able to receive it. Now, before we go any further, let me just introduce myself for those who may not know me. My name is Ian, and on this channel, we talk about personal finance and making money. So if you are interested in those areas, give this video a thumbs up so it can reach other people, and be sure to consider subscribing to the channel and turning on post notifications so you can see when I post new content, which is several times a week. Now, for all my returning viewers and subscribers, welcome back and thank you for tuning into the channel once more. Now, I would love to hear from you. Do you think that the $1,200 should be given to every single person in America, regardless of income or lifestyle? Drop a comment down below and let me know if you think it needs to be given to only a certain set of people, or if you think it needs to be given to everyone regardless. Also, let me know if you think this is enough to help the average person or the average family today. Now, as it relates to the restrictions or the criteria for getting this money, there was a document explaining the conditions, but this document is, of course, over 200 pages. Now, reading this document wasn't the easiest and most fun of tasks to do, and there were some parts of it that I didn't even understand and required more research than just the research of finding the document and reading and understanding it. So with that said, I hope you guys like this video and the information, because it did take me some time to get it. Now, instead of taking you through the entire document, I'll try to get to the main points, and if there's anything that I missed or any questions you have about this $2 trillion stimulus bill, then drop them in the comment section below and I will try to promptly reply to all your questions. So most people want to know either one or all of these questions, right? First one is, how fast is this money going to be paid? When can I expect it? The second question is, how or where do I sign up for this money, and by when do I have to do it so I can receive this money? The third one is, in the event that I didn't file a tax return for 2018, what happens then, since they did state that they would be using 2018 tax returns to send payments to payers electronically? Another question is, what if the only income I had was from Social Security, and will I still get the $1,200 with that? Another question was, what about disability as well? Does that count as income and make me eligible for this money? So these questions I'll explain in this video. Now, if you do a simple search on Google, at least at the time of making this video, you wouldn't be able to find the bill easily, and instead you'll just see highlights from different news outlets. So I'm going to be including a link in this video description down below that takes you to the 2020 $2 trillion stimulus package. And if you're bored, or if you just want to scrutinize it yourself, then you can go right ahead and do so. So let's talk about the requirements to get this money now. One of the first requirements is that you have to be a citizen of the United States, or a legal permanent resident, or green card holder, as some may say. You also cannot be filed as a dependent on anyone's tax returns. So if someone has or is claiming you as a dependent on their tax returns, then that makes you ineligible for this money. If you're married, you'll get double the amount, so $1,200 per adult, and if you're married, it will be $2,400. Your income level also plays a part in if you qualify for this money. So if you made less than $2,500, you will not get this money, and that's per year. By the way, just remember that these are all based on 2018 tax returns, right? So everything I mention now will be based on the tax returns from 2018. Now, if you didn't file taxes in 2018, just stay with me and I'll explain how your situation works in a little bit. So if you made less than $2,500 for the year, you don't qualify for this money. If you've made more than $99,000 for the year, you also don't qualify for this money. And I think this is because they're assuming that you already make enough money, so you won't need this. Now, I don't know why the lower limit of under $2,500 is left out though. Surely, if you make less than $2,500 a year, I personally think that you do need this money. The next income bracket is from $75,000 to $99,000. So if you made in between $75,000 and $99,000, then you will get some money, but they're going to subtract 5% of any amount you made over $75,000. So if you made $90,000, for example, you would get $1,200 minus 5% of $15,000 because you've made $15,000 over $75,000. In that case, you would end up with $450 because 5% of $15,000 is going to be $750, and then $1,200 minus $750 leaves you with $450. So that is how you calculate how much money you're going to be getting if you make over $75,000 but less than $99,000. Now, the majority of the people that this bill or the money will benefit are the people that are making less than $75,000 but more than $2,500. So if you're making over $2,500 but less than $75,000, you'll get access to the full amount. And I'm saying access to the full amount here and not full amount for a reason. The average person making $40,000 to $60,000 a year gets access to the full $1,200. Now, earlier we did mention that if you have children, you will get an additional $500. And this is if the child is under 17 years of age. So what do I mean by access to $1,200? I meant you could potentially get that amount. And here's how you know exactly how much of that $1,200 you will really be getting. So if your tax liability in 2018 was $1,200 or over, you'll get $1,200, no questions asked. So you get the full amount. If your tax liability then was $1,000, then you'll get $1,000 instead. And if it was $900, you'll get $900 and so forth. Now, the actual minimum that you can get if you're in this income bracket from earning $2,500 to $75,000 a year is not $1,200, but $600 instead. So if your tax liability in 2018 was $400, you'll get $600. And even if it was zero, you will still get $600. So it's not a case where everyone will be getting $1,200. It's just really based on what your tax liabilities were in 2018. So if you had tax liabilities of over $1,200 in 2018, you'll get the full amount. If you're married and you have kids, let's say a family of 5, you'll get $1,200 for yourself, another $1,200 for your spouse, and an additional $500 per child. So in a family of, let's say 5, you'd be getting a total of $3,900. So with that said, you should now have a clear understanding of which income group you fall in and how to calculate the amount of this money that you'll receive based on your income, and also additional factors as it relates to having a spouse and kids and how much more money you'll be able to receive then. So with that said, let's go back to those main questions that everyone wants answered. And the first one is, how soon am I going to get this money and how will it get to me? So the money will be sent via direct deposit to the account you have on file on your tax returns. Now, if you don't have an account on file, they will instead mail you a check. But as you can already tell, direct deposit will be much faster than the mail. Another question is, how do I sign up for this benefit, or where do I get enrolled for this benefit? And the answer is, there's nothing you need to do as long as you fall into one of the eligible income categories to get this payment. It will be automatically sent to you. Next question was, do I get this money if I am on Social Security or disability benefits, and does that count as income? Yes, it does, and you will get this money if you are on either Social Security or disability. The other main question was about 2018 tax returns. Since they'll be using that year to make their calculations, what if you didn't file a tax return for 2018? Well, they did add an alternate year, and you can read the document. I have a link to it below. But basically, long story short, if they can't find a tax return for you for the 2018 year, then they'll use a 2019 tax return instead. So if you missed 2018 for whatever reason, but you filed in 2019, then you should get the money based off your earnings in 2019. So with that said, if you didn't do a tax return for 2018, or you couldn't do one for whatever reason and you haven't already filed one for 2019 because the date has been extended, you want to go ahead and get that done very quickly so you can get this money. Now, this has already been passed and just needs to be voted on now. So hopefully it will be final very soon without any major modifications. Now, in about 15 days of sending the payment to your bank account, a notice will be sent to your last known address confirming the money was sent to you and which account it was sent to. So if you get the notice and you didn't receive the money, or if everyone else is getting the money but after 15 days you have neither gotten the payment or the notice, then you definitely want to contact the IRS at that point in time. Now, I hope this video was helpful and I got the 3 main questions answered for you guys. And as I said before, if you have any other questions, be sure to leave them down below in the comment sections and I'll be sure to answer them as quickly as I can. And also initially in this video, I asked a question. Do you think that the first proposal of $1,000 right across the board to every American was better or is better than this now $1,200, which is subject to income restrictions and other factors? Let me know your thoughts on this. Well, there you have it, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and if you've made it to the end of this video, that means you did enjoy the video. So now be sure to hit that thumbs up button and give this video a like so other people can see it and have their questions answered as well. Also, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can see new videos when I post, and I post videos here several times a week. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, adios.